Ayuk right, they motion McCaffrey backwards pass to McCaffrey, and he's going to throw downfield wide open. Brandon Ayuk, touchdown! San Francisco! He can run, he can catch,
getting on fire!
Christian McCaffrey can throw! Now they go empty, and McCaffrey goes right. It is Garoppolo looking. Garoppolo under pressure, throws to the back of the end zone. Caught by Christian McCaffrey. Touchdown! CMC!
Dynamite!
One, just got it snapped in time. Inside handoff. McCaffrey finds a crack. Gets wide. 10, 5, 10. No, he got nailed on the goal line. Is he in? He's right on the goal line. What a run by Christian McCaffrey! They're going to give it to McCaffrey coming left. McCaffrey, touchdown!
Hey.
Breezy,
Mo's Nose, Season 3, Peachy, Fear the Dog. It's about that time, everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's Nose, Peachy, Breezy, and Fear the God. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you non-a-talk. We two gorilla silverback, silver.
You know it's busting the discussion cause we get it in. Every time you know we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win, the faithful going hard. It's Wayne, Breezy, Peachy, Mo's Nose, and Fear the God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, it's the lightest talk. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, it's the lightest talk. We outline players up in chalk. Nitty gritty, it's the lightest talk. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, it's the lightest talk. Nitty gritty, it's the lightest talk.
We here, baby. We back. What's going on, everybody? It's the Nitty Gritty Niners Talk crew. Mine is Peachy. She's obligated right now. She has to work, so she won't be able to be here live, but I'm sure she'll be finding her way inside that chat, holding it down. So shout out to Crystal Peachy B. But I am blessed to have my man Fear to God and the one and only Mo's Nose in the building. What's going on, family?
What's the word? How y'all doing?
Gucci. I'm always Gucci, yo. It's good to be back. Another Monday night. You know what I'm saying? Haven't talked in a couple of weeks where we could get down to the nitty gritty talk, but it's good to be here and it's good to see you, bro. Mose, how you doing, man? Just checking in with you.
Listen, man, I'm great. Gotta talk a little bit of basketball, just a little bit of basketball.
Yeah, we could start the show off that. Let's start it off because right now I'm already won first place.
We're not talking about the Celtics.
Okay, my bad.
We're talking about the Titans.
Okay.
We talk about the South Jersey Titans.
Let's talk about it.
Shout out to my young boy. Shout out to my son Max making his first AAU squad.
Hey, okay.
We got the notification today. Made his first AAU squad, South Jersey Titans. So I'm a proud dad moment for me. So shout out to my young boy.
I'm proud of you, but how dare you shoot down the Celtics because your son will get drafted by the Boston Celtics, and you're already doing Boston trips anyway with your brother, so you might as well get used to it. Get another residency out there, man. And I tell you what, when he gets there,
a winning organization, a organization that's steeped in tradition of winning and championships, a great history, and then me, Breezy, and Fair will be courtside at Boston Celtics games.
I don't know if Fair will be there because he's a Bulls fan.
Yeah.
He got to support his nephew.
Right. That's
only if they playing the Bulls. I think that's the only way you're gonna get Fair in the Bulls.
hey, not for nothing, Mo's, man. Boston BC plays Florida State pretty early this year, so it won't be super freezing.
No, it won't. It'd be nice and warm.
Does that
I don't
sound
know
like
if you're going up that way this year.
Nitty gritty crew need to make that trip.
I might be going up that way a couple times. So
let me know.
I might go see that just for the hell of it. You know what I'm saying?
We can make Troy fly out too, man. You know what I mean?
Yes. Shout out to Troy. Make sure you keep Troy in your prayers right now. He's currently in the hospital. He's getting some treatment done. So make sure you guys keep our brother Troy in your prayers. All right. Please do that, man. Pray for him. Shout out to everybody out here because we can go off tangent. This will be a show where we don't give a care about the chat. Y'all can do what y'all want. We'll just talk. But before we get to that, I want to give everybody some love out there. Let's start with all the members of the channel. Now, we got a new member to the channel. I want to make sure I say this name right. It's R Sandiford 33, right? R Sandiford 33, or is it RS Sandiford 33? I'm new member. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm just gonna highlight it right now. They're showing it that you're a new member. You're gonna get the air horns. Because you got it popping, man. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. We truly appreciate it over here. Name's Ronnie. There it is. Long-time follower. Thought it's about time I became a member. So here I am. Appreciate you, Ronnie.
Hey.
Appreciate you 100. Oh, man. Mariah's in the building. So good to hear from Mariah. Mariah, you are doing big things out there. Keep up the great work and what you're doing with your channel. Shout out to Taryn and everybody else that you have a part of your crew. Love what you're doing over there, man. Keep up the great work. All right. So all some of the other members of the channel. Jerome is in the house. You know what I'm saying? Watch your mouth. Christy Marie's in the building. Terrence is in the building. Jacqueline Knox is in the building. My guy, Niner Cali boy, is in the building. There's Troy right there. Look at that. Look at that. Troy is tuned in. So listen, I feel like I got the post nasal drip going on. What the hell is going on? I don't understand what's going on here. But yeah, it's dripping. Pause. I said pause because I already know where you guys are going with that. Troy's in the hospital. Make sure you guys keep him in your prayers once again. All right. And shout out to all the subscribers to the channel. We appreciate you. Listen, we're not going to bore you with all of the formalities, which we normally do, but you know where you can go. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe. So right now, just do us this favor. Hit the like button, right? And don't forget to participate in the...
Oh man, this is, I love it, man. This is why I miss y'all so much.
For life doesn't make the morning shows because I would never get through. Make sure you hit that like button. Okay, that's first and foremost, and don't forget to participate in the poll question. It's Combine Week. We talked a little bit about it earlier on the show. Can't wait to get my brothers' takes on some of their favorite combines, 49ers related or whatnot, or not 49ers related. We do need to add the Christian McCaffrey combine in there now that he's a 49er because his combine was off the hook. But yeah, we'll get to that. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe right here on the YouTube channel. Also, make sure you click on the link inside of the description of the show. So if you're not already subscribed to Moses' channel, and Fair, why don't you send me your YouTube channel so we can get them to subscribe to your YouTube channel as well, so they can get a whiff of what you do outside of 49ers football, which is that good old Gen Pop. That's what I like to call it, man. You are pop culture to the T. And when I'm not watching football, the Nutso podcast is on the TV for sure.
Dope.
TV, phone, whatever I could watch it because I just like life. And that's what you guys do, man. So make sure we'll put the descriptions of the links in the show. But go ahead and subscribe. Click on them links, man. All right, man. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What the hell is going on in the 49ers world as far as like news, right? It's kind of silent.
Go ahead, Mose. You got this.
I mean, kind of, but it ain't. Now, I mean, it's some less than reputable sources saying that they have reputable sources that something about to happen within this organization.
So we starting right. We gonna just hit him with the hit him. All right, cool.
Might as well.
So I'm trying to figure that out about because I was trying to when I was looking at the less reputable source. I'm trying to figure out like why would like and I want to say this as colloquial or politically incorrect as I can, because sometimes all it takes is that one source to make you reputable.
Right.
So I'm trying to. I don't know.
Just let it fly, man. Just let it fly.
So I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt because if they're right, then good kudos, and then we could blow that. We can make sure that person gets their rights. Right, do due diligence in what they're saying. But listen, there's supposed to something huge is supposed to go down in the 49er organization. And before we do that, I want to read the first super chat contribution of the show. I told you Peachy was going to be in the house. Y'all thought I was lying. Mike's in the building too as well. Shout out to Peachy. What's going on? Sorry you can't be here today, but we do know that you're out there, you're holding it down. So let's go ahead and pull up that first super chat contribution. Let's show some love to oh, there it is. There it is. Miss Jacqueline Knox with the $30 super chat contribution. Just because you're dope. Appreciate you. Speaking of dope, that was a dope TV show. You guys ever see that show, Dope? It used to come on. It was like it lasted like one season. It was like a hip hop show. No, just me?
No.
All right, cool. Let's get back down to this. So Mose, you were telling us about this less reputable source, and what was it? Is it quarterback related?
That's what everybody is speculating, because what is the hot button topic this offseason? It's the quarterback. What's going to happen with Trey Lance?
Okay.
What's going to happen with Brock Purdy? Is he coming back from the elbow surgery earlier? Are we bringing back Jimmy Garoppolo? Are we going after a Derek Carr or an Aaron Rodgers? That is the hot button topic. Is this team has been a very, very good team for the past 3-4 seasons. We've made it to a Super Bowl. We've made it to 2 NFC championships beyond that. And we haven't been able to get over the hump, right? So apparently this source is saying that their source has an idea of that or has information that something is going to happen that is basically going to tear the 49er fan base apart. That the 49er fan base is going to be at war whenever this news breaks.
Let's break this down. So Fear. I like this. I actually like this conversation. Give me one possible scenario that this could be. We'll all give a possible scenario.
Yeah.
All right. So Fair, you get to go first. I'll go second. Mose, you go third since you breaking the news. Cool.
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind that will probably have 49ers fans fighting, Jimmy Garoppolo's coming back. Would that not stir the pot and have everybody at each other and trying to beat each other up over this again? One more season?
Stir the pot.
All right, my bad. Will that not knock the pot off the fire onto the floor?
Okay, yeah. I mean, there's a stipulation to that because you just say stirring the pot. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, man. We beyond stirring the pot if he returns. That's a tip the pot over pot. Like, yeah. Look. Oh, man. Let's respond to that. Look, there's no way. I disagree. Well, you know what? I take that back because there's always a way. And the way starts not with Kyle Shanahan, not with John Lynch, but Jed York. And as there's a way. So there is a way. But I'm going to need Don Yee to really screw that way up, right? I'm going to really need him to demand some bread and some legal terms in that contract that's going to make Jimmy Garoppolo pay, because I feel like Jimmy Garoppolo wants to get paid. He already took a 1-year deal, a big pay cut, whatever. Even though he got hurt, he's looking for more guaranteed money, less than that incentive-based type of contract. And so I'm going to need Don Yee to really screw this up so that this doesn't happen. But then there's always that Jed York, man. Mose?
If we playing devil's advocate and we working through all of these different scenarios,
that's what we doing.
What if he don't really want that much money?
Oh, come on.
What if Don Yee, the agent that he is doing his homework and talking to these other teams, engaging their interest, finding out and realizing Jimmy Garoppolo is 4th, 5th, 6th option on their list? What is the best scenario for Jimmy to stay in? A situation where he's comfortable, a situation where the locker room is behind him, at least the players.
Yeah. Is he comfortable though?
He comfortable enough to mouth your plays fucking suck. he comfortable enough. Because let's be honest. Before last year, old Jimmy wouldn't have did that.
I know, but something happened, yo.
his nuts drop, hair on his chest, whatever it is.
What happened? What do you mean from Kyle's press conference?
Something made Jimmy Garoppolo snap.
Right.
So it's I personally think it's the fact that he took back control of his situation. See, a lot of people keep forgetting that, but he did. He took the control back. Like
so again,
calls, no trade calls,
the control back.
Took it back.
Now he like, bro,
you need me.
I thank you. You need me more than I need you.
I need you.
And you're on a team that, for all y'all got 2 rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah,
2 quarterbacks on rookie deals. One on a first round draft pick deal. Yep. One on a second and beyond.
This is crazy.
Rookie draft pick deal. You know what I'm saying?
This is crazy.
So you got 2 young quarterbacks, one coming off of damn near Tommy John surgery, the other one who coming off of a broken ankle that apparently we don't know what the status is and where the trust level is with this young quarterback and his development. Jimmy may not say, give me 25 million. What if he say, bro, what did you give me last year? You gave me 15? Yeah. Give me 18. Give me 19 million guaranteed.
I thought it was more, wasn't it 10 and then the incentive and he didn't make the incentive or something like that? I can't remember what the contract was, but it was
every game that he played over the 50% of the snaps, he got that bump
incentive. Yeah. What was the what was the guarantee?
It was how many games? I think he played like 7.
Yeah.
This is tough.
Anyway, I mean, he could say, yo, give me 18.5 fully guaranteed.
For 1 year, Moles?
As opposed to people saying he wants 22 to 25.
Hell no, man. I'm not paying him that.
I know you're not. I know you're not. But if we talking about this rumor that's something about to happen that's going to have the fan base at odds with each other.
Okay.
And you're talking about Jed York and him making decisions for this organization based off of who he liked and who he's fond of. You mean to tell me, Jed, you're not writing a check for 18.5 when he's looking at the landscape of the league and Derek Carr might get 25 to 27?
That's too much.
Aaron Rodgers going to get maybe 30. He at 50 now. He's going to have to go somewhere and take a pay cut, but that going from 50 to 30 is a pay cut for most people, but he's still making $30+ million.
Yeah, isn't that the franchise tag money amount?
It's somewhere in that range.
18 for the quarter. No, it's actually 32. It's 32.
Right.
I remember. So
Jimmy coming in at 18, 18.5, 19.5. Give me that fully guaranteed. That sounds like a discount to most organizations.
Listen, I like the devil's advocacy that's going on right now. For most, I like it, but
look at Niner Faithful. Carr says he wants in the area of 35. And somebody will give it to him.
Well, I mean, that's because Carr currently right now is at 42, so he's even taking a pay cut wherever he's
taking a pay cut.
But here's the thing: the quarterback money is going to go higher because these quarterbacks in the draft are trash, and so like there might be like the 2 top or the 3 top tier ones. Kid from Florida, I think, is bumping up, and then you got Bryce Young,
CJ Stroud.
Yes, sir. And so like
Will Levis is going to be in that top 10 conversation, but
yeah, so
somebody going to make a mistake with him.
There you go. And so with that being said, I mean, look, and I'm glad we're having this conversation because at the end of the day, we need to address that third quarterback in the room.
Right.
And I remember I was doing a show saying that, like, what if Jimmy Garoppolo returns, as that safety net or whatever? And here's that possibility again. Now, those that are just tuning into the show, and I'm gonna let you talk. There's a big rumor going out there that there's something huge that's going to divide the faithful once again on Twitter. Like it's something huge that's supposed to go down. So we're just talking about some rumor stuff. This is not anything that we have any validity behind or any substance or anything like that right now. We're just talking about the rumor mill that's going on. I do see Chrissy in the chat, and I see that you had your surgery today, and I'm glad that you're here, you're watching the show, and we're praying that you get better and get well very soon. But I'm glad to have you here in the show. Chrissy 16 87, thank you for being here. All right, so like that's the rumor that we're talking about. All right, so fair scenario was dope. He said that the return of Jimmy Garoppolo. Here's my scenario. It would be the 49ers trading Trey Lance.
Yeah. That's where I was gonna go first. I'm not gonna lie. But
And let me be clear. I am not saying that I want the 49ers to trade Trey Lance. I'm already designating Trey Lance as the comeback player of the year. And don't hit me with that crap. Oh, he got to play football to be the comeback player of the year. I watched Joe Burrow win comeback player of the year. I watched Geno Smith win comeback player of the year. I don't even know where he came back from other than his career being down the drain. And as far as Joe Burrow, he was hurt the most his rookie season. And he ended up coming back and winning comeback player of the year over Nick Bosa.
Crazy, right?
So I just want to put that and make that clear. But yo, let's talk about it because I feel like that's my scenario. I would like to get your thoughts on it. Let's go with Mose and then we'll go with Fear. Or do you want Mose to go and you be the devil's advocate? I mean, do you want Fear to go and you be the devil's advocate, Mose? Or
no, I can go. Okay. I can go.
Let it fly.
I mean, because I think I'm probably going to start with the devil's. To me, while I understand we're walking through the scenario, it makes no sense. Right? Because he hasn't gotten on the field, and because he hasn't. I mean, Brock Purdy has played more NFL snaps than he has. We are not going to get the trade value back for him.
Not what we
spent is not what we're going to get. And if you know anything about business, if you know anything about home ownership, when you buy something at a price, but you can't sell it at that price or more, that's called underwater. When you buy a property for $250,000, but then you try to go to sell it and you can only get $200,000 for it, that bank's still looking for that difference. That means you underwater. So we bought him at a price. We're not going to get what we paid. So there's equity that is missing. So that it would show failed ability to scout and make the proper decision. Because at this point, one of the questions that I've been asking is, should we have drafted Justin Fields?
But why?
And I mean, I understand that there's that but why question, because you look at what Justin Fields has done in Chicago, and it's like, well, he hasn't been that great
as far as a quarterback. But as far as
a quarterback, yeah. But from the caveat standpoint of put Justin Fields in this offense with these weapons, make that in-season trade for Christian McCaffrey. So now you got Justin Fields, Christian McCaffrey, and Deebo Samuel on the same field.
I don't know, bro. I see Fields struggling with the same type of throws, the quick stuff. The thing that I like about Justin Fields is his ability as more of a running quarterback.
Yeah, so the versatility.
You get that as an upgrade, but I think he would struggle with this quick throwing stuff. Justin Fields would like to get the ball down the field as well. I didn't from seeing.
But I think we have the weapons for him to get the ball downfield.
But I think we have that in the same Lance too.
In the same way that we brought Brian Griese to work, not only with Trey Lance but all our quarterbacks. I think Brian Griese could have done some special things with Justin Fields as well.
Oh, I agree. I just don't see much of the difference. I mean, apparently, what Mike Silver reported was that the reason why they even went with Trey Lance is because he was the smartest quarterback. So you go with the highly intelligent guy, the guy that's going to probably be able to grasp the concepts of the things that you're trying to teach him, accelerated. Because that's what happens when you get drafted as a rookie. Everything's accelerated. You're like on that accelerated Rosetta Stone program where you got to learn a language. And if Kyle Shanahan's system is the hardest language in football to learn, you want that high, guy. And that's why they went him over Mac Jones or over Justin Fields, even though Justin Fields was wooing us with his pro day. I thought his pro day was probably the best.
And I mean, just watching him at Ohio State as well, like,
I mean, I thought he wooed us.
I thought he fit.
Yeah, but I felt like Trey Lance, that's that higher ceiling part that came in. The deeper ball down the field, the grasp of the play action game. He has that. It's Trey Lance learning the quick pass, the quick throws, the reads, the run option, all that type of stuff. So yeah, Mose, you're right. We'll get that upgrade in the run option. I feel like Fields can run that, but I don't know. That's a great. It's great. I like that. That's actually a great assessment on it. Fair, what are your thoughts about the 49ers trading Trey Lance?
So if Mose went the way of why it don't make sense, then I'll go why it does.
Okay.
So the first thing I think about is getting some of the draft capital back, right? We have somebody like Brock who is potentially going to be set by the time the season starts. And at this point, it doesn't make sense to have two very young quarterbacks that we're not only trying to figure out and develop, but we're trying to see which one makes the most sense for our team. And we know, based on how we've been with Jimmy and having Trey there as well at the same time, the ripple effects that causes within the fan base, right? People are literally like, I don't know if you remember I think it was a Jeezy song where he had Kobe, LeBron, like that commercial where they had the two puppets that were fighting. Like, I feel like that's what happens with 49ers Twitter, with the 49ers fans fighting over Jimmy or Trey. So now we're basically just removing Jimmy out of the equation, and it's going to be Brock or Trey.
Mm-hmm.
How do you fix that? Solidify who the person is that you want to go with, and try to get some capital for the player that you're going to go. And the upside is obviously with Trey Lance. There's more of an unknown. Like Mo said, I get that. It may be better to allow Trey to cook this year and flip him off next year. The cap hit will be a little bit better. But, man, if you're 100% certain and someone offers you a second or even a late first rounder, you got to open your ears for that if you're Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch and see what you can get. We have some holes that we need to fill immediately. And, getting an early second rounder or a late first round pick would make a lot of sense for this team.
Okay. Because Vince wanted to know what's the minimum you would take in a trade deal hypothetically is second, a third. So he was, you're not going to get a first.
The first round pick got to be.
I don't think
you're going to get a first round pick.
I don't think you're going to get a first.
Unless this year happens. Unless this year happens.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like top 10, top 15.
Oh, yeah.
But a first round pick got to be included in it, whether it's a late first this year or a first in 2024. But a first round pick got to be in this deal. That for the amount of capital that we gave up, a first round pick has to be included. And here's why: whoever is getting Trey Lance is getting the potential, and is still getting him with 3 years left on his rookie deal.
Agreed.
But the capital that we gave up, I mean, what has it really panned out to? We're missing one pick because we don't know what that's going to be this year. But isn't it a late round pick?
It is.
So technically, we didn't really give up anything. We gave up first round picks that will be able to get fifth year option. But who was the player last year that we gave up? Didn't Miami traded this year's pick to one of the teams? But what was their pick last year? And so, like,
that's a great question.
Didn't they trade their pick this last year? One of their picks to get defensive guy from Denver,
Bradley Chubb.
Bradley Chubb, right? So yeah. I mean, they got a first round pick out of it. I mean, it's all about flipping the pick. So,
and then I think they used one of our picks to acquire Tyreek Hill.
So they used their picks then. So they didn't even draft a player with the pick.
No, they used them to get no commodity.
They got one because we swapped with them. So who did they?
Yep. So they flipped one of the picks, which was 12, as part of their Jalen Waddle deal. The 2022 first rounder was included for Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 2023 this year was included for Bradley Chubb.
So they got.
I remember that graphic during the season that in the draft haul that the Dolphins got from the 49ers, it resulted in Waddle,
for all
Tyreek Hill, and Bradley Chubb.
Yep. And they didn't even make it to the playoffs. So what I'm trying to say is this, like,
great point. Great point.
yes, we gave up capital. No, we haven't gotten a return on the capital yet. But that's just simply because he hasn't played football yet. And so we still have years left on that contract. It's almost like having a brand new car that had some issues that had to get like replenished and the parts had to get replaced. And then like now it's going to start to really get some test drives. So imagine having a 2020 car you've never drove yet with like 100 miles. It's kind of like how I'm trying to look at it, and I'm only saying that because my car's in the shop and I'm going through some car stuff and some analogies. So that's how I'm looking at the Trey Lance situation, and I'm not comparing him to a car. I hope he's not watching this. I don't want him to block me like I'm getting blocked by players all of a sudden. But, like, yeah, I'm just saying, like, that's how the 49ers are looking. Just zero tread on the tires.
Block you, Breezy?
I mean,
Tabor Pepper blocked me for some reason. I don't get it, but it is what it is.
Okay. We'll talk about that off air.
But so I like the scenarios, the two scenarios that we got, the pro and the con of it, I thought was spot on. But that's my scenario, them trading Trey. Mose, give us a third scenario, man. And then fair.
Let it fly. No, I'm ready.
Oh,
I was gonna say, is it gonna be QB related, or are we gonna get off that?
Stray away from the QB situation? I know we never know with Mose.
That's why I'm interested in.
Ooh. I mean, I could go that route. I mean, I don't.
What's something you think that the fans will be in an uproar for?
I don't know that there's anything that could really.
Can I give you something if you don't got that?
He want to throw you the alley-oop, but Mose might got the slam dunk.
Dunk it.
Okay.
Because
I'm going outside of quarterback related because I was going to stay with the quarterbacks. And I was going to take the easy one and say we bring in a veteran like Aaron Rodgers or Brady out of retirement.
Actually, let's keep it quarterback related. Can we do that?
Okay. Yep.
Let's come back to that.
Let's come back to that.
Because I was going to go with that one. I was like, that's too easy.
Yeah.
Then I was going to go. It's kind of ironic that the news correlated with the release of Carson Wentz. So if we're bringing in a third quarterback,
I swear to goodness, if you mention that name to the San Francisco 49ers, you're getting blocked.
Right, but see, that would be something that the fans would be up.
That would be something that Tabor Pepper would block Breezy for.
But y'all wanted to throw the alley-oop, right?
Nah, I want to go quarterback related. We could come back to the alley-oop, yo.
Which one of those, Mo?
All right, let's stay quarterback related. We'll
can't be Carson Wentz though. Give me any name. Give me Sam Darnold.
Honestly, I don't think any other name. I think Derek Carr. That's not something to get in the uproar about.
I got to get rid of this.
Sam Darnold. That's not something to get in the uproar about.
I had to get rid
Neither
of
one of those names would cause an uproar that would make the fan base be at war with one another.
Okay.
Right?
I'm trying to find this comment. Keep talking.
But going out and if we're talking about trading Trey Lance, let's combine two.
Don't you bring another North Dakota State quarterback in this?
No. Let's combine the two.
Okay.
We trade Trey Lance because Green Bay isn't sold on Jordan Love.
Okay.
I'm listening.
We trade Trey to Green Bay and bring Aaron Rodgers in. As much as he said it's not San Francisco, if the money in the situation is right and he have a conversation with Kyle and they're on the same page.
So now we got to talk hypotheticals of what you're giving up to get Aaron other than Trey Lance, because that's the first round pick. But this Aaron's going to cost a guap. And that's Matt LaFleur. Like,
he may and he may not.
Is he?
I think he will. I mean,
with the rift that they're going through,
he may and he may not.
Aaron could be MVP coming to San Francisco. That's what in my opinion, that's what Green Bay is going to sell. Oh, you want an MVP? Because that's what he is.
So what can we counter with? You're gonna lose him anyway.
I would say, hey, we saw what happened with Russ last year.
If you don't find a trade partner I guarantee you, when he come out this darkness retreat, he gonna retire on y'all.
Well, he left the darkness retreat, isn't he out?
He's out of the darkness.
He returned from the darkness. That's why I put out there that he playing with Green Bay emotions. He know damn
That's
well.
what I'm saying.
He's gonna be right back in Green Bay.
Listen, y'all don't like Jordan Love, and if y'all don't find a suitor, you're gonna have him go somewhere. He gonna walk out of here with nothing.
Right.
So what? But how does that put the fan base in an uproar? We lose Trey and whatever draft capital to bring in Aaron Rodgers. Plus, we got to pay Aaron Rodgers whatever we need to pay him to make him happy. So not only do we lose Trey Lance, we lose draft capital, but we also lose the financial leverage if we wanted to bring in any other free agents.
So Nick Ellert says issue is Aaron Rodgers is a $50 million cap hit. So let me get this correct. I want to make sure I'm saying this right. So in order to even acquire him in the trade, two things got to go down. Number one, Aaron's gonna have to take some type of weird
right.
pay cut, right? But
and we know Prague is a genius when it comes to getting them contracts right.
That's a good point. But don't the 49ers have to include him in that $50 million in the cap first? Because that's what they're gonna have to do for Derek Carr, and he at the $42 million number. $50 million for Aaron? God dang.
Damn. That's what his current contract is.
Contract too. Nah, that's out.
So yeah, I mean, listen, you talked about what else would we have to give up?
Right.
That's my point. That's
you talk about it. You talk, and he a great point. He throws Ayuk in there.
Throws Ayuk in there.
So we give up Trey Lance, Brandon Ayuk, and draft capital for Aaron Rodgers.
But Ayuk, you're talking about Ayuk at what, $4 million right now?
No, I'm not talking about the money. I'm just talking about his potential and who he is on the team. Fans are going to be livid if at least half of the fan base is going to be livid if a young Brandon Ayuk who's just now finding his stride, that dog we thought he had in him and that Kyle Shanahan saw is finally starting to come out.
But see, right. I could push back so much because I've been studying players.
Okay.
And so just being at the Senior Bowl alone, and I'm not saying I found wide receivers that can replace Brandon Ayuk. That's not what I'm saying. But if the 49ers were
that's what it's not what you're saying, but that's what you're saying.
Yeah,
like,
because
there's other guys out there that we can bring in.
And now you back on
develop rookie, to that point.
And you're on a rookie contract.
Resetting that clock.
And then you're just resetting the clock. And now you don't have to pay him the 5th-year option.
Yep.
And you don't have to pay him long term. And there's got to be one receiver. See, the reason why Debo got the contract is because he's not just a receiver. Think about what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why they'll probably never, ever in their life pay a running back, except for Christian McCaffrey, because Christian McCaffrey is not just a running back. See what I'm saying? So you got to get back to the versatility style of players that Kyle Shanahan needs. He needs an A, B, C player. You got to be able to do 3 things. And that's how Kyle, it doesn't matter if it's on offense. It doesn't matter if it's on defense. Even coaching, you got to be able to adjust. So, I feel like with Kyle Shanahan, is Brandon Ayuk that guy? And listen, if we could find a way to sign Brandon Ayuk, awesome. That means they're not going to go this route.
Right.
But we're just doing it hypothetically in the scenario in order to get a Aaron Rodgers. So can I throw in another curveball? And since we're talking about a veteran, how about we wait a month or two and we make the phone call to Tom Brady?
Again, that's something else that will have the team in an uproar.
We're just thinking about what could possibly have the team in an uproar, guys. That's all we're doing. These are the hypotheticals. Apparently, if you're just tuning in, there's a rumor out there going around and 49ers Twitterverse that there's something huge that's going to happen within the San Francisco organization, and it's going to cause the 49ers fan base to go into some type of division. Okay, some type of uproar. And so we're trying to figure out what that scenario is if you're just tuning into it. The reason why I brought up Tom Brady is because I don't think he's done with football. And listening to Peter King and them talk, I mean, they talk to him. I don't think he's done. I just think he needs to go to the perfect situation.
The way Giselle responded,
it
don't look like Giselle want to get back.
Oh, no.
When he retired, she was like, "Hey, congratulations, man. Wish you the best.
Dang.
Wish you the best in your future endeavors," type shit. Like,
mean,
it was like, oh, congratulations, you finally decided to retire. Wish you
now
the best.
you want to retire. So I had to leave your ass
So
for you to.
it didn't sound like that's mended and he going back to the happy home. And so
hear me out about that though.
If he's sitting in the condo by himself and he start getting that itch, Black 59 Razor X Jet looky on 2-on-2, I might have to get back in one of these locker rooms.
I just, you know, I'm and Fair. Oh, actually, Fair, you go first because you had something you want to push.
No, I was just gonna say real quick because you know, to me, Brady might have stayed in football to get away from Giselle. It might have been a strategic move.
And this is why you guys need to tune into the Nuts So
Much podcast.
I'm trying to tell you, there are reasons Fair is great at what he does. And it could be a possibility.
Right.
It could be.
What? Hold on, man. Hold on. We have to address this. Okay. Can I?
Yeah,
please?
Absolutely. Of course. All right.
Yeah, so it's a no for me, dog.
Nitty gritty.
Oh, word, Ramilia.
For Ron.
Word. Yeah, wow, they putting me on the trading block.
I can tell you like this: I'm not trading Mose, but but Mose will be a free agent at the end of the season,
and he's free to sign wherever he wants.
Wait, I didn't even know my contract up too. I'm not getting an extension.
Hey yo, I ain't gonna lie, Mose.
Yo,
I ain't gonna lie.
Nah, that's. I'm just
the amount
saying.
Of draft capital.
Everybody, listen. We like teachers here. We on year-to-year contracts. You know what I'm saying? And you up for your review. I love you, but listen, everybody knows I don't hold nothing against anybody.
Thank you, 49er media, man. At least somebody showing me some love.
Get the check.
Hey,
wow.
Yeah. This is not no dislove. It's just saying like you get.
We're working hypotheticals.
Yeah, it's freedom. Still Black History Month. Freedom. It's still Black History Month. One day when glory comes, right?
I'm holding out for some guaranteed money. Thank you, DeMarcus. # pay Mo. Thank you. Hey, I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, man. This is what it's all about.
I know we
renegotiating Lake City, my brother. Man. Appreciate you.
We renegotiating contracts?
Hey, man, I ain't renegotiating nothing, but since they came out here and talk about we traded, ain't gonna be no trades. But listen, if you say,
I'll be right back, man. I gotta get my agent on the phone. I'll be right back.
Kick him out of the chat.
I can't, yo.
Breezy trade moves. I'm boycotting for 3. I only get 3 days, bro.
See, there's nothing you can say right now. So just leave it alone.
Only get 3 days.
Just leave it alone. Mose is not getting traded. Mose is free to do what Mose needs to do. I'm all about helping him build his brand and building up people. So that's what I mean by being free. You ain't going nowhere, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Oh wow. See, he fouled. See, no.
I don't want to put that
the dry Popeyes biscuits though.
Yo, I can't
the hockey, not the hockey pucks.
The hockey pucks, bro. And
that's
then
crazy.
Yeah. They got like white powder on them too, yo. And I'd be like, yo, why is there powder on my mama biscuits, yo? But anyway, here's the thing, yo. These are some hypotheticals that may go down. I don't believe any of this stuff is going to happen. At the end of the day, the question is going to come down to do the 49ers. And when I say 49ers, I mean the whole organization, the team, the players, the coaches, and everybody and their mama trusts Trey Lance. Ain't nobody coming to see you. Oh, to see, they know. So I love so you know I watched the Martin reunion this past weekend on HBO. Didn't know it was up there, right? So listen, there's gonna be a bunch of Martin, references on this show. Always will be one of the greatest shows of the 90s. Martin or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Oh, not the honey pat.
Peachy talking about
you need fat. Peachy said, like, y'all not gonna figure my contract. Hey, just because I'm not on the show today, my contract need to be first.
One's got to go. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Martin, Jamie Foxx show, or the Wayans brothers.
Oh my God!
Real quick, one's got to go.
Wayans brothers. If I had to be quick.
Jamie Foxx.
Huh?
I can't do that. Go ahead, Breezy. Come on, you said quick, and then you out here taking your sweet time.
Because I asked the damn question.
You know, what's the stipulation?
And you answered last, so you definitely had the most time.
I'm gonna go with the Wayne brothers, yo.
Right.
But it was so funny though.
No, it was.
I know. I still watch. I mean, it still be coming on VH1. I still watch it to this day.
All right. Don't tell
nobody.
Come on, when my love.
Yes.
Goes bang, bang, bang.
Yes.
Yeah, but that was my favorite episode.
Oh man, look, they said Pat the Wayne out of here. Shout out to my man. What's going on, family? The wise soul is in the building, man. Appreciate you. Yo, but the Wayans was funny. So if you got a chance, if you get a chance to rewatch the reruns, I promise you, you'll watch show after show after show after show after show. So Black Orchid 772. I really thought about saying this, and then I felt like it was sacrilegious. Because
for me, it was only two options. Martin is my favorite show of all time.
It was Martin or Jamie Foxx, right?
It was only two options.
It was Martin or
Jamie Foxx and Wayans.
Yeah, I mean that's what I meant. Jamie Foxx and the Wayans. Yeah, and it couldn't have been Jamie because it was the best impromptu show of all time. Like you could tell he took some of his sketches and you know mirrored off of what Martin did. Shout out to Jamie Foxx too. Then he added the singing element, which is what really, you know, connected me to him. But shout out to Martin for bringing on Brian McKnight, Jodeci, Biggie, like
everybody,
he just,
bro.
Yo,
Charles Barkley.
Martin was on another level. All right, let's get back to the 49ers talk. The combine is coming up, man. We're done with the rumor mill. We talked about.
Are we?
I don't want to trade.
We talked about non-quarterback.
All right, give me your one non-quarterback position player that get traded.
The one rumor that will make everybody on 49ers Twitter go crazy.
Don't you say Nick Bosa?
Nope.
Okay, good.
Debo Samuel traded. First rounder. That will make everybody on 49ers Twitter go absolutely crazy. He's going to get traded to the Giants.
Okay.
For one of
their the Patriots because they've been sniffing around.
I think Pats are probably going to go after Ramsey, honestly. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Let me check his cap hit if he's traded this year and to see if anybody wants to take his cap hit. So his cap hit for this year is low, but next year is when it kicks in.
Jumps.
So let me just double check.
So
all right. So this year
now would be the time.
$8.5 million, right?
If we gonna do it.
Well, it'll be because then the team will be willing to take on that cap hit. So when you go into next year, he $28 million, yo. So the question
is, it's a dead cap that we lose, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's rough. We have to get a lot.
It's 28 million. So the dead cap for us would be $26.5 million.
Oof. Yeah, I don't think that will work. I mean, we'd have to get so much back for that to make up for that cap hit.
Oh my gosh, that's scary.
26 million.
Here's why I don't see them trading Debo Samuel. Right? Hashi. Oh, we still talking about Martin.
And again, these are hypothetical. So
these are hypothetical. But here's why I don't see that. Post June 1st, they said it's $6 million. So let me read that. I was just reading before pre June 1st, so I didn't get to post. You talking about this year? Or are you talking about next year? So I'm looking into 2024, and I'm looking for his post June 1st. Could woo, that's a lot of money. It is. All right, so let me see. Post June 1st. Let's see. Debo signed 71. I just don't see them trading him though. Period.
Yeah.
Just based off of versatility, a lot of people feel like we can't have him and Christian McCaffrey, and I beg to differ. I think if Kyle Shanahan could get all of his players to be like that, I think that's winning.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, we have the most versatile tight end in the game as well.
Didn't think about that.
We have obviously the most versatile running back.
That's another name.
George Kittle
on the trade block.
George Kittle's on. All right, so is that your hypothetical, Mose?
That's the one I'm gonna go with because
it's
not gonna be Bosa. I don't believe we're gonna trade Trent Williams. But if it's not Debo, who's the only other player? It's not going to be Fred Warner. He's the heartbeat of the team.
You can't trade Kittle. I just don't see the 49 monetarily wise it being able to work. And then I just don't see them trading the versatile pieces away.
Right.
The only tradable piece.
Go ahead.
He's 30 this year.
Say it.
I don't care about that age. He's still playing at a high level. The only tradable piece, guys,
Say it.
is BA.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's the perfect timing for him too. Go get a deal somewhere else.
Yep.
I don't
Go
see
sign
Eric
somewhere
Armstead
else.
being trade bait either.
And I don't see the fan base being in an uproar if Armstead is gone.
No, they
Because a majority of the fan base still think it was a mistake keeping him over Buckner anyway.
Right, for sure. But how many people do you think are truly, genuinely upset if BA is gone?
Oh,
if they tell you, all right, say we'll keep in mind the Giants, right? Because they seem to be the team that is looking
they need
the
receivers,
most
bro.
for a wide receiver, huh?
They need receivers, bro.
Right. And now BA just went over 1,000-yard season. What did he have? 9 touchdowns last year. He's a legit receiver at this point that they've made him into. He blocks downfield as well. He's just not seeing the ball as much as he probably should, and he's probably going to get more than 1,000 next year if he's a number one target.
Right.
What does that look like from a trade standpoint for the Giants? Are they giving up a first-round pick for BA?
Wait, I just got the news on LeBron James. He's out indefinitely, yo.
Yeah.
He got hurt yesterday, but he continued to play and won.
He was walking with a limp after the game.
I thought he hurt his hand. I'm so messed. I'm all off.
No, I thought he hurt his leg. His
hand was during All-Star game.
Yeah, he hurt his leg and he said something popped. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see, man. What do y'all thinking compensation-wise you'll see for Brandon Ayuk?
Brandon Ayuk was a first-round pick. Can they possibly get a first round in return? He only has 1,000-yard season.
Breakout season last year, though.
Wasn't really a breakout season, was it?
He's on the up. I mean, you got to think he had
receptions, 1,015 yards, 8 touchdowns.
He had a down year last year. He was in Kyle's Shanahan's doghouse last year.
Yeah, and I agree, but I don't think it's a breakout year. I think the year Debo had prior was breakout, but I think he had 1,000-yard year to where they need to start respecting Brandon Ayuk. Now, the thing about Brandon Ayuk, in my opinion, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, it's just so many mouths to feed, and then he went through 4 quarterbacks. So the question is will he continue to be fed? Will teams start looking at him differently? What
does he want to go somewhere else so that he can be?
See what I'm saying?
That featured guy.
Here comes the devil advocacy. It's back. It's never leaving. That's who Mose is. That's what Mose knows.
Does he want to be listen, I love my time here. What I've learned under Kyle Shanahan and my coaches here has helped me develop even further into the player that I know that I have the potential to be.
Right.
But with everybody that we have here, Christian is the first option. Debo's is the second option. Kittle is the third. I'm 4th on the totem pole. Whoever's 1, 2, 3, I'm 4.
Do you guys agree that Brandon Ayuk may be the trade bait right now before the draft? Put yes in the chat, or put a thumbs up in the chat, thumbs down in the chat. Let us know if you agree or disagree. All right, we would love to know what you guys think about that.
And I mean, let's do this too. Since we on this, let me pull up the draft order.
So yeah. And
it's not just the Giants that's looking for a wide receiver.
Yeah, correct. But I'm thinking the Giants, who have the most draft capital that they can afford.
All right, we're gonna start with the NorCal.
Well, we're gonna look at the teams, and then I want to look at the first round draft order, but then I want to look at their total draft picks and see what they could possibly give up.
All right, so while you're doing that, Fair, take this comment from Jerry because Lance needs Ayuk. Debo's the odd man out.
So I like this comment because it brings me back to something that I said at the beginning of the offseason. The person I picked that was going to be a breakout player, that was going to potentially be 49ers Rookie of the Year, in my opinion, was not used. He wasn't used.
Mm.
And with Lance coming back, Danny Gray's he's gonna see the field a little bit more, man.
We hope.
I think he is.
Number one, did he improve in his blocking? That's the first and
Right,
foremost.
right. And that's always going to be something for a wide receiver in Kyle Shanahan's offense.
Bingo.
You have to be able to be a little bit of a dog and be able to get downfield. And once the corner realizes you're trying to run them off on just because it's a run play, you have to block. Are you going to be able to do that consistently enough to see the field? Now, is there a little more leeway if Brandon Ayuk is traded? Does that happen a little bit more, or are they going to stick with somebody like JJ who's going to get you those 10 to 15? But again, somebody like Gray is definitely taking the top off the defense, definitely putting defenders, safeties in a stressful position and opening the rest of the field, man.
He adds a different element to the receiving game for sure with his straightaway speed, but he still has to get open in man coverage.
He does.
You know, it's not just about running right by. The question is, like, it's hard for me to trade Brandon Ayuk when I know he's the best route. Like, if you got to get open, it's Brandon Ayuk. I don't agree with this though. I don't think Lance needs Ayuk.
That's where my brain was going. Like, I don't know if it's a need because again,
you have the better chemistry, but I don't know if he needs. All right,
for sure, that I agree with, man. I just feel like, you know, if you need those shorter 5 to 7 yards on third down, it's going to be Jennings.
Correct.
We ain't gonna have to worry about losing BA for that. And when you need that explosive play, that's Debo. It feels like, and again, don't quote me as saying I'm trying to trade away Brandon Ayuk. It's not what's happening here. We're talking about hypotheticals and potential draft capital if this did happen. But yeah, I feel like BA is the odd man out.
Okay. Niner Cali boy wants us to talk about the pros and cons of trading Kittle. So I guess the one pro Mo's talked about, he's getting up there in age and you can relieve that big old cap hit, you know, and relieve some cap space for the 49ers. There's some tight ends you could draft in this draft. But I just don't know if that's the right move. So those are the pros. You got any other pros in trading George Kittle? Because that's it. It's just money and age. And maybe injury. Maybe.
And potentially getting something good back because he still has a few of those good years in front of him, right?
Okay.
So that's a pro. Getting something, you know, getting capital back.
Yeah.
For
so if you can flip a 5th rounder into a 1st rounder, it's kind of like I hate to say it as a no-brainer, but that's that return on investment. That's the flip game. I was able to get you in the 5th and make you into a 1st round pick. People forget about that part of football, but that's kind of like what football is.
Right.
But any cons? Well, I got a ton, but I gave pros.
I mean, instantly, we may end up having to bring McGlinchey back. Or even scarier scenario, we may not be able to have enough money to pay someone that we feel is better than McGlinchey. Kittle is that extra lineman. Kittle is that other blocker in these Kyle Shanahan run schemes that opens up these holes. And him leaving is instantly a major hit to our run game and our blocking schemes. It just is. Kyle Shanahan game plans the run game around Kittle. And he doesn't even see the ball. So, yeah, that's a major con for me. Definitely.
I mean, you
I'm going to give you one, though.
You lose the energy on the offense if you trade George Kittle. I've never met a man that just wants to intentionally block for a living.
Right.
And taking that away, that's a big chunk of your offense. And when you got a young kid in there, I'm sorry, the tight end is the guy that I trust with my new quarterback. It's just I'm old school football, and I need Trey Lance to get with George Kittle or Brock Purdy to get with George Kittle and get that Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce connection going. Like that's what we need. Now we know Kyle Shanahan won't utilize them like that, but if we solve the right tackle problem, if we upgrade at the right tackle position, there's a possibility that George Kittle will be unleashed, and we haven't seen that since his sophomore season.
Right.
I mean, so many scenarios
for sure. Mose, pros, cons that you want to touch on that?
No, I think you guys hit on everything. I think you think about Breezy say energy. I just think about team leadership. Just how he gets the guys ready to play football, and how when he makes a play, that energy level goes up, and everybody seems to respond to him. So, yeah, I mean that would be a con. You're losing somebody who is beloved in the locker room. So that can always hurt player morale.
Not to cut you off, but Mose, since we're talking about Kittle made the comment earlier in the offseason that it's Brock's team to lose.
Right.
Yeah.
Since we're asking the question, do the 49ers trust in Trey Lance?
Talk about it.
How do you think this is going to spin off? Because if the coach, I'm sure George Kittle, you know what? Bump my stipulations. How do you think this is going to fare well if you got the players out there endorsing anyone else other than Trey Lance?
Yeah. I mean, and that would put trading somebody like Kittle in the forefront if Kyle believes that Trey is indeed the future. Right? That would make it make sense that, you need to get rid of anybody who isn't backing what the coach wants to do here. We saw it, and we finally heard it come out about Russ Wilson this week, right? They said Russ wanted he wanted his front office and his coach gone, and they said, you know what?
We'll give you the front office.
We chose them over you, and guess who got shipped off?
They did, but he got his front office in Denver.
He did.
And they declared that was a bad move.
And it got taken away as soon as Sean Payton walked in.
Good Lord, give it. The good Lord, take it away.
Sure
Come
did.
on, somebody.
Crazy. Yeah, so that would make sense for me. This is your captain that we're talking about here in Kittle. This is legit the heart and soul of this team. We saw what Kittle means to this team when Brock went down, and the freaking vigor and greatness that he was still trying to pull out of people who looked completely defeated in that game against the Eagles. Like, those are people you want to go to war with.
Fact.
Those are hard to come by. And we just are lucky enough to have somebody like Kittle and somebody like Fred Warner on this team on both sides of the ball. You don't just find those players off, walking down the street. They don't exist like that. There's not many of those. So, if he's endorsing one quarterback and you believe in another one, hey, man, that's on Trey to show him why he's the better QB. That's on Trey.
All right, let's touch on this comment. I know Mose did some background work, and we're going to get to it in a second. Tarvarius says, I'm all for trading Trey. The players and coaches don't believe in him. Let's start right there. Because is this what you guys are getting from the coaches? Let's start with the players. Are you guys feeling like the players don't believe in Trey Lance? I don't get that vibe, but if you guys do, I would like for you to point it out to me.
I would agree with you. I don't think we have enough evidence to say that the players don't believe in him, but we do have more evidence that the players believe in Brock Purdy.
Right.
So you can make an inference that if we have evidence that they believe in one player and we don't have evidence that they believe in another player, well, then that just means that they don't believe in him, right?
Right.
But I don't think we have enough evidence to prove that the players don't believe in him. I think Debo Samuel said it on the Rich Eisen show. He says, if Trey Lance is the quarterback of this team, can this team go as deep as you guys did last year and have a possibility to win it? And without hesitation, he said, absolutely. Brandon Ayuk believes in Trey Lance. There are players on this team that will back Trey Lance and that will go to war with him.
Right.
So I don't think we have enough evidence to say that the players don't, and I don't think we have enough evidence to say that the coaches don't. There's been a lot of coaches. We talked about some coaches last season. I mentioned it on Mo's Nose. There are some coaches that were publicly belittling their players and then backtracking because they got called out about it. Not mentioning no names, Ron Rivera, but like, there were coaches that were putting their quarterbacks on blast. And, unfortunately, we didn't have a chance. Kyle didn't even have a chance to do that with how early in the season Trey got hurt. But that's not the type of coach that Kyle is. So I don't think we have enough evidence there either. So we just need to see him play. And when he does get out on the field and play, he needs to, prove that he belongs and be consistent in doing that.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna come down to his ability, and then his consistency. I'm not sure how efficient Trey is going to be because I'm not sure. We need the consistency of him just being available so that he can work on the efficiency. I think that's the difference between Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. I think when you watch Brock Purdy come into the game, he was able to take the game plan and run it as how it was written up and things like that. And the fact that he was able to make those quick throws, those short passes, was the Jimmy G-esque type of an offense that Kyle Shanahan wanted to build. He was trying to get Brian Hoyer to run it like that. He was trying, so you can see that. And so that's what made Brock Purdy kind of like stand out. I'm not saying he didn't have the ability to do certain things, but there were some things he struggled with as well. But I felt like the thing that made him like woo everybody like was his ability to be efficient. You know what? I can make this throw. And so as long as the players caught the balls and things, it just made Brock Purdy look amazing, which he was. Like, he was very efficient. You saw the stats. The stats don't lie. Numbers don't lie. And so the issue with Brock Purdy is simply, I talked about this on the show a couple of days ago. The issue with Brock Purdy is as well as health. And I know we don't want to blame, it's not his fault he got injured. Fine. He still got injured. Right. It wasn't Trey's fault he got injured neither. So at the end of the day, like, he's injured. So how about we accept the fact that he's injured? And I know there's a possibility that he might play. There's also a possibility that he may not play. So we got to take that into consideration. And I think what we're trying to do is, this is not a Trey versus Brock, even though it's going to always be Trey versus whoever, or Brock versus, because that's what the 49ers built. They built this. We didn't build this. We didn't ask them to draft Brock Purdy when they had a Trey Lance. You know what I'm saying? And so, hey, they did it. And now we have to sit here and talk about it week in, week out, day after day to see what happens, because that's what's set up. There's a quarterback situation in San Francisco again. And yes, if we go back to the beginning of the show and we add Jimmy Garoppolo back to the equation, oh my gosh.
Oh,
I will say this. I'll take Jimmy Garoppolo over Carson Wentz, though. I'll take him any day.
Facts.
Yeah.
Any day. Mose, I want to know what's the stuff you cooked up over there for us. We'll talk a little bit about the combine. We'll preview the combine, and we'll jump on up out of here.
So, yeah, we were talking about compensation if we were to trade Brandon Ayuk, right? So we mentioned some teams. New York Giants. So they have a first-round pick 25. That's actually where Brandon Ayuk was drafted. Maybe we won't get pick 25. We won't get a first-rounder. But they do have 2 third-round picks. They have 89 and 102. Do they give us their second-round pick 57 and their third-round pick 102? Would that be something that you would be willing to take? Do you need another pick? Do you need a 2 or 3 and a 7, a 2 or 3 and a 6?
Yeah,
they have a 4, they have 2 6, and they have 3 7s.
It comes down to I don't know if they still go by the point system, right, when you're talking about trades, but if we Google like the NFL trade chart,
is it a point system with players though? I thought it was just picks.
It's picks.
It's picks, but if you're talking about what we're trying to get back in value for Brandon Ayuk,
right,
we're gonna need.
Look at last year.
Yeah, we're gonna
last
need
year
that
is the example.
So we know, kind of like, all right, second round pick is
But
worth.
what's the value chart on players though?
Yeah, there isn't one. I don't
There
believe.
isn't one. Nah, I don't think there's one on player. It might not matter. I'm just saying, as far as picks, like if I'm gonna get rid of Brandon Ayuk, I want, second, third, fourth, fifth pick. I get what you're saying. It's probably not gonna matter because they don't know. Like,
Right.
there's no value on.
So that's what I'm saying. Is
But I'm saying I'm
pick-
gonna ask for. I'm gonna aim high. So I'm gonna be like, give me the second, 2/3, and a fifth.
So I get it, right? I think
so that's where you're starting with. If the Giants pick up the phone, you starting at your second round pick, both your thirds, and a fifth. Okay, so that's pick 57, pick 89, pick 102, and pick 162. That's your starting point.
That's my starting point.
So that's the most we can get, you believe?
That's what I'm starting with.
He said that's if the Giants pick up the phone and ask,
they want Brandon
what
Ayuk,
does it cost?
Yes, sir.
For Brandon Ayuk.
Yes,
that's
sir.
what he's starting with.
So
their
can
second,
I use y'all?
Both their thirds and their fifth.
Can I just put this out there for last year as like a baseline, right, for receivers being traded?
Okay.
We had AJ Brown, who was already over 4,000 yards in his career, got traded for a first rounder, right? And then we also have Hollywood Brown, who was traded to the Cardinals last year for a first round pick.
Now he was a former first round pick too, as well, right?
He was indeed, yes.
Baltimore Ravens, right?
Hollywood Brown has the most comparable stats to Brandon Ayuk. First year, 584 yards, 7 touchdowns. Second year in Baltimore, 769 with 8 touchdowns. The year before he got traded, 1,008 yards with 6 touchdowns.
So you're saying that Brandon Ayuk is worth the first round pick?
I believe so, based on just using, again, last year's wide receivers that were traded as a baseline. I believe AJ Brown is he went a little bit higher, but based on what Hollywood Brown was traded for, I think definitely.
But what was their picks?
I believe Hollywood Brown was traded for 25.
Okay, so that's where we start. So that's perfect. So
Giants
that's where we're
25.
going. So we starting at 25. But look, if you don't give me the first round pick, I'm gonna ask for a
23rd. Sorry,
a boatload of yes, sir.
Got you.
Which is where
23rd.
Cool.
I'm a hoarder of picks because there's so many things you could do with those picks, and you don't have to pay first round money.
Right.
If you take if you get the pick in the second round, especially if it's late in the first round and kind of early in the second.
Yeah.
You might go with the second, save yourself some of that cap money for the first round pick, and just get more picks to trade back up. Now you'll have 5 third round picks and 4 fifth round picks.
I mean,
next team on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Fair.
No, I was going to say, obviously, AJ Brown they gave a little bit more, right? AJ Brown was traded for number 18 and 101 overall. So that makes more sense, right? But again, I'm saying his stats earned that.
Yeah,
his stats earned that. I'm saying who's comparable. Who's comparable is Hollywood Brown. That's where it's more comparable stats wise and just seeing the trajectory of both.
I could dig it.
Next team on the list, I picked out 7 teams that I feel like need a wide receiver and we could do some trading with. Green Bay. We talked about Green Bay. Maybe if we trade for Aaron Rodgers, maybe not.
I feel like they just drafted Christian Watson. Do they really want to trade for an Ayuk? Do they need an Ayuk?
They still looking for a true number 1. Yeah, they traded Watson.
And Watson started to look like a 1 toward the end of that season.
He did start to look like that towards the end of the season, but he's still young.
Okay.
And if he reverts back to the first half of the season, Christian Watson, then they in trouble again, especially if they don't have Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. I mean, I just wanted to ask. I just wanted to put that caveat out there. I mean, they do got Lazard. Don't know if they're all in on him. He was injured the majority of last season as well. Their receivers were injured.
They still trying to figure out the wide receiver position post Devontae Adams.
I mean,
they wanted BA. He was their second choice after Justin Jefferson.
Okay, so at this point, what's their first round pick? Because that's where I'm starting.
15.
That's high.
And their second round pick is 45.
So that's close.
That's more realistic.
That's earlier in the second round. I mean, it's like now we talking.
Yeah.
So we could do their 2 and their 3, 45 and 78. Their 2 and their 4, 45 and 116.
Yeah,
I think 2, their 4, their 5.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
And they got 6, 7th round picks.
If you do 2 and 4, it definitely have to be 5 included, or 2 and 3. Sounds realistic.
I'm starting with the 2 and 3 and a 6th. I'm
They don't have a 6. It would have to be a 7.
Sorry, early
Yep.
7th though. Their first 7th round pick.
Okay. Next team, New England Patriots. Already rumblings that they want to trade for him. Their first pick is 14.
Mhm.
So again, that may be too high. They're right after. They're before Green Bay in the first round, but then after them in the second round. So they got 46. They have 76 in the third round. They have 3 4s, 107, 117, and 135.
All right, hold that note. We just want to put a prayer out there for Miss Debbie's son. She said she just found out that he was in a car accident
Oh my
on the
gosh.
101 freeway. He's at the Stanford Hospital right now, getting checked out from the car accident. So our prayers are going out to Miss Debbie's son out there.
Yes, definitely.
Miss Debbie, you know you're in our prayers. Just stay strong. It sounds like he's doing all right. I'm praying that he's doing all right. We understand that you're a bit freaked out, but you have us. So let us know if there's anything you need other than prayer. But we definitely will be praying for your son. All right, Miss Debbie. Just wanted to put that out
Yes, definitely.
there. The devil working, y'all. All right, so
Any?
so where are we with this? What's their first round pick?
First round pick is 14.
Nah, we ain't
So
getting
that's out. So second overall pick in the second round is 46. Third round is 76.
Both of those.
They have 3 4s, 107, 117, and 135.
I'm starting with the first 4 and then see if they'll counter it with their last 4. But I need that second and third for Ayuk.
Bet. So that's New England. Another wide receiver
Which they're
needy
going to be
team.
looking for a receiver too, though,
They
by
are.
the way, because they're not going to be resigning Jacoby Myers and Brandon Ayuk upgrades. That would help Mac Jones tremendously.
For sure.
Yeah,
That might be a good one. Circle that one more than anything, Moves.
Patriots. Baltimore Ravens.
Who just got rid of one of those receivers we're talking about.
I'm not giving nobody. I hate Baltimore.
They searching for a wide receiver bad.
Searching.
They only have 5 draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't have that many draft picks and they don't have that much moving to do, and they have a pretty solid roster.
This might be the best pick.
I think we could go because their first round pick is 22.
Mm-hmm.
That's
with the
that's
first round
there.
So
That's
they
right
could
around
give
there.
up 22 for Brandon Ayuk and bring in a known commodity that's their number 1 wide receiver right now.
That puts us
And then
right
they
back in the
have
first round.
a 3rd round pick, 4th round pick, a 5th and a 6th, no 2nd, no 7th.
That
But
puts
with
us
those
right back
5
in the
picks,
first round.
trade that 22 for Brandon Ayuk. You got a starting wide receiver. Get some depth with the other 4 picks you got. Call it a day.
The question is, do they value any wide receivers higher than Brandon Ayuk coming out of college? And there are some that could come in.
The only names that I think will fall that far, I mean, it's possible all 4 could. I think in my preparation, I think Jordan Addison goes high. Depending on what Quentin Johnston does from TCU, I mean, he's 6'4", 220 something. If he runs low 4.4s, high 4.3s, he's going to be a top 15 pick. 2 names that I could see fall in the 22, Jackson Smith and Jigba from Ohio State, Zay Flowers from BC. I think they may want to go one of those 2 young guys.
Yeah.
Smith and Jigba is more of a route runner. He doesn't give you that dynamic deep speed. Zay Flowers, he's electric. He gives you that dynamic deep threat. He kind of could come in and replace that Hollywood Brown style that, they had for a little bit there. So those are 2 names that could fall to 22. But if they go through this process and they like the kid but don't love the kid, and they want to go with a known commodity that come in right away with knows how to play this game and come in with the work ethic that it's going to take to be successful in Baltimore, it's possible.
All right.
Houston Texans. We know somebody that's going to Houston. We know this Houston team is looking for a wide receiver because with their first pick, their number 2 overall pick, they're likely going quarterback. They got to bring in somebody for him to throw the ball to. We're not getting 2. We're not getting 12. But their second round pick is 33.
Right at the very beginning of the second
Right
round.
at the very beginning of the
first
second
pick
round.
of the second round, to be honest.
Isn't it the second? I think Miami lost the pick, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the second.
Yeah.
of the
So
first, second
32 32 is technically the first pick of the second round
exactly.
because Miami's pick 21 is forfeited.
It's forfeited.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but based on normal format, yes.
Either way, it's early.
Super early.
Yes,
exactly.
early in the second round, absolutely. So 33.
And that's a good way of not being stuck with that first round money. You don't get that 5th year option, but you also don't have to play that first round tier for a player. So this might be good too.
Right. And then they have 65 in the third round, 73 in the third round, and 104 in the fourth. So maybe that second in the later third, or even that because that second is so high, maybe that second and a fourth at 104. Option. Send them to Houston send him out of the NFC into the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
Send him with a coach that he's familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
That's being rebuilt.
Dang, him paired up with Brandon Cooks.
But Brandon Cooks may not be back, which is why they would be looking to add another receiver.
That's what you're saying. Okay.
I think they find a way to bring Brandon Cooks back because now you get the deep threat down the field. You can use Brandon Ayuk in every way. He can run every route. I think they figured that out because remember, Ayuk would be cheap this year. And then they could tag him.
Even next year, he'll be cheaper.
Well, they have to work out a deal next year. We'll forfeit that. You know what I'm saying? They won't.
No, he gets his 5th year next year, correct?
I don't think they'll be able to 5th year him, right?
Why not?
Yeah,
because
he was a late first rounder.
We have to do 5th round by May 7th. So if we don't trade
that up,
if we trade him by the draft for sure, then I guess it's possible they 5th year him. I don't know.
Yep. And that gives them the option of run it back with BA this year and trade him next year.
Yeah, and then he'll make $14 million next year on the 5th year.
Yeah. I mean, again, these is all hypotheticals.
I know people saying no way I'm trading BA, but listen, guys, let me ask you this question: how many more hypotheticals you got, Mose? Because the question.
2 more.
All right, let's go through the 2 more hypotheticals.
Tennessee Titans. I do not care that they drafted Traylon Burks last year.
He was
the same thing. Well, same thing with Green Bay. He did not fulfill his potential.
Okay.
For Tennessee to be successful, particularly offensively, they got to find another option other than Derrick Henry because they're going to run him into the ground. I don't care if he's a tank. I don't care if he's a 6'3", 250-pound monster that runs 4.5. You're going to run him into the ground if he's your only option. And you're running him into 8 and 9 man boxes every single game. So they got to find another option. Traylon Burks right now is a number 2. You bring in BA. You kind of try to recreate what you had with A.J. Brown and Traylon Burks, or trying to pair A.J. Brown with Traylon Burks. But you bring in another number 1 option. They have the 11th overall pick in the first round. That's out. Second round pick is pick 41. Third round pick is 72. They don't have a 4th. We can go 41 and 72, maybe throw in a 6th or throw in a 7th. But Tennessee is another solid option. High second round pick. We can get more draft capital in the third.
I'm agreeing with the scenarios. I'm going to explain why it's a possibility after you finish your last scenario. But the teams that you're picking, I understand what Moses is saying. It's so that it's this high draft capital. Go ahead, Moses.
Last one. And this is kind of a sleeper team. But they got rid of Juju.
Kansas City.
They traded.
I'm not trading.
No.
Juju.
Pittsburgh.
They got rid of Juju.
Well, Juju's a free agent, so that's why I assume
they traded.
He might not.
Traded Chase Claypool.
Pittsburgh.
And Deontay didn't have the year that they thought he was going to have.
That wasn't his fault. That's quarterback play.
It is. But now they're going with young
injuries too.
Yeah, but the majority of it was quarterback play, and when he was on the field, he wasn't getting the rock. Look, I don't like this one.
If you want to develop him,
Brandon Ayuk
develop your young. No, not BA. If you want to develop your young quarterback, get him more options.
That's why I think they draft a player. They have 17? What's their pick?
17.
Yeah, I think they draft a receiver. The one thing that I know Pittsburgh does,
I think they go defense at 17, bro.
They should, but the one thing that
I think they get one of them young corners.
The one thing that they normally do is draft wide receivers. and then those wide receivers become
that's
free
true,
agents
'cause
and they
they
end up on different
they
teams.
drafted
Then they
Juju, they
leave
drafted
before they got to sign
Claypool.
them. Yeah,
That's true. I mean,
they usually leave before they got to sign them.
I'm just saying that's what they're known. They're notorious for drafting wide receivers, and then they turn up, and then they go to different teams and they turn out. Like,
yeah, but the last few times they drafted a wide receiver, it ain't work out.
Well, was
they've
it
been the
Claypool's
young,
fault?
immature dudes.
Okay,
Juju, young and immature. Chase
Yeah.
Claypool, young and immature.
but Juju
getting
had man. What was the year Juju balled out? Was that the last year Antonio Brown?
I think it was something like that. It was,
was
an
the
overlap
last year
with somebody.
Antonio Brown.
It wasn't
I
Brown,
think
but it was somebody else.
I think it was 2019.
It had to be. It had to be
was an
Brown
old-
because he was getting the
'Cause
Brandon Ayuk
he
treatment.
he almost killed us in 2019 because that's when that first time I was at Levi
I mean, he
Stadium.
ran that slant
and
for a touchdown, bro.
He ran that slant for a touchdown, and we had Jason Verrett on the field, and he cooked him the first play.
Yeah, he scored on the slot though, so that was K1, I believe. At the time. That's when I realized K1 might be losing a step or two, or he got injured or something. Something happened.
You said 2019. Brady was still in New England. That might have been Antonio Brown, bro.
I'm trying to tell you that was the
it was AB.
That was the year, and AB was drawing all the attention, and he was left one-on-ones. He was
AB was in Pittsburgh in 2019 because he didn't play that game I went to.
No, he wasn't in that game. We were there. He wasn't in that game. I'm just saying there was one year Juju balled out.
Oh,
yeah.
Now you got me looking.
I got you.
And because he balled out, Juju made himself a top receiver in the league. Like, but I think it was the year they had AB. I could be wrong, but it was definitely another wide receiver. 2018. So it was the year before.
Yeah, 2018 because he had 111 catches for 1426.
That was the year he balled out, bro.
That was that was an AB year.
Was Brown there though?
AB was there, yes.
Yeah, and that's why. But AB had a year too.
1,300, 1297, 15 touchdowns. Oof.
Yeah. I like Terradome. I do like it was his rookie year. Thank you, Nick. I do like George Pickens though. So that's a young kid.
Right.
I get you. They bring veterans in there.
You put a Pickens with a BA.
I see what you're saying.
And maybe you can move off of Deontay Johnson.
I see what you're saying.
I mean, it's just another option, and because of the picks that they have.
You're not getting 17 though.
Not getting 17, but they got 32, which would be the first pick in the second round. They have 49, and then they have pick 80 in the third.
Yeah, it might be 32 and 80.
I think it's 32 and 80, and possibly that's it.
And then they have a fourth and 2 sevens. So if you want to do 32, 80, and one of the sevens, just to throw it in there just for fun.
32 and 80 might be a wrap.
Yeah, I think you try to throw it in there. Hey, man, these are all good scenarios. What was the one I said circle? The New England one?
Pittsburgh. Pats. I mean, yeah, the Patriots.
Pats, yep.
I think that one makes the most sense. For
IU. If they calling us about Debo, and John Lynch says, listen.
But that was supposed to be some type of bull crap rumor. Nah, yo.
They called us about Debo, and John was like, Debo not on the table, but you want to have a conversation about Brandon Ayuk?
Yeah, they're not going to make that same mistake that they made with Defoe, right? With Eric Armstead and DeForest Buckner. They're not going to do that again. The stud stays, the second player who's, really good, but not that, I mean, I can't say that with BA, man. I love him in the game.
You can't say that.
It's hard. This is a little bit closer for me.
Well,
but the interchangeableness of Debo makes him not.
That's my point. That's why I say it's harder to move on from Debo because he could just do he might not be the better blocking wide receiver.
Might not be the better receiver. Period.
He's the better weapon. You feel me?
Better weapon. Yes.
Okay, so like that's kind of what it is. And the only reason why this hypothetical can possibly work, we're talking about recouping a first round pick.
Right.
And I like that Fair brought up last year's scenarios for AJ Brown, but you compare him more to the Hollywood Brown pick, and it makes a little bit more sense. It gives us a little bit more clarity because I still think BA is better. I think Hollywood Brown could run faster, but I think BA is still the better wide receiver. And so at the end of the day, right, he might be able to get you might be able to get a first round pick. And I know everybody wants a first round pick because everybody wants to draft the stud lineman, or everybody wants to draft the stud defensive tackle. And everybody wants to draft this stud to where, you know, we don't have to wait to the third or fourth round to hope a guy falls to us. Plus, you got to look at the situation. You can't pay everybody.
Right. It's impossible.
It's almost impossible. Now, you might wait till some of your big contracts expire, but if they start restructuring Eric Armstead and Fred Warner, we're going to be on the books with dead money long after they're gone, and it's going to be harder to pay these guys. I want Brandon Ayuk here. Let me make that clear. I believe Mose and Fear wants him here. Let's just make this clear. But hypothetically speaking, if the 49ers could possibly be entertained with the first round pick, they don't have to be responsible for his contract. They can always draft a wide receiver like Tank Dell out of Houston. There's a bunch of receivers out there. There's this kid. Oh my gosh, it's just so many. I'll have to do a receiver show that can come in and give you production. And we know rookies aren't going to start right away. But Brandon Ayuk's rookie year, guess what he did? He almost gave you 1,000-yard season. So
and last year almost 1,000, and then this year he cracked it.
And so. Look, there's some players out there, but if you're trying to get a stud at that tackle position, that's a possibility that's a piece you're gonna have to move. It's chess, guys, and it's nothing personal, but it's chess. It's what it comes down to. All right, listen, the combine starts on Wednesday. All right, I know people are going to be out there tomorrow. They're going to be getting their credentials and all that type of stuff. One player you guys are looking to watch at the combine. Who's your eye on? Ooh. I know you only pick one. I'm not going to say
fair, Breezy. That ain't fair.
That's not. But what's the first player that sticks out to you? I got mine.
Does it have to be somebody the Niners are interested in, or just in general?
For the Niners. I'm sorry.
No worries. I got a safety in mind, and he just so happens to.
Florida State safety.
Florida State.
So let me tell you this, Fear.
He's an absolute monster.
Fear. His senior Fear.
He's a monster, bro.
Fear.
I think he might have played his way out of our contention, but go ahead.
Just because he played in the Senior Bowl. Now you got a chance to watch him during the regular season. I got to watch him in the Senior Bowl. There were 5 safeties that I feel like fit for the 49ers.
Is he not one, bro? Does he not look like Jimmy Ward out there, bro?
He looks just like Jimmy Ward.
Bro, oh my goodness. If he can fall just a little bit to the 49ers, I'm talking about if y'all don't know. He's going to
have to run like a slow 40. See, 49ers.
And he might. But if y'all don't know, I'm talking about Jamie Robinson. Absolute dog. If you want to see a highlight play, watch his sack on the Miami quarterback, where he just dog walked this dude and then threw him back down because he didn't think the dude was on the ground. He just obliterated their quarterback, and he just has those plays. I swear, every time I watch the game, I'm like, dog, this dude looks like Jimmy Ward, yo. He's built like Jimmy Ward.
He tackles really well.
He tackles well. He covers well, and he absolutely comes down in the box, triggers, and smacks whoever is running the ball.
Can I ask you a question about him playing nickel?
Oh, he'll play wherever you put him on the field.
And that's the only thing I care about.
He'll play wherever you put him on the field. He'd prefer to play safety and be but he's comfortable in the box, man. So if he has the help and be that third linebacker and be run support, he's cool doing that.
I like it.
So
I like it
man, I'm excited to see what he does.
I like it a lot. All right, so we went with a safety, Florida State. Mose.
I could go a lot of places. I gotta stay true to who I am. I gotta stay true to defense. I gotta stay true to the defensive line. And Breezy, I'm going to your backyard, bro.
Uh-oh. Please say his name.
I'm going to your backyard, bro.
Yes, please. Shout.
Please.
Because if he can show me the athleticism and the strength, if he can show me the burst, and the power and that short area quickness. Mozzie Smith might be somebody that I'm excited about to add to this defensive line, man. So, and they switching the format for the combine this year.
Yes, they are.
The D linemen and the linebackers going first.
Yes, that's gonna be on Wednesday.
On Thursday night.
Well, Wednesday. So I hold on. Let me get you the schedule.
Second Thursday.
The Thursday is the second, but hold on. This is the schedule that I have. So unless they switch,
linebackers and D line are Thursday. DBs and special teams are Friday.
So where do you see that at?
Receiver,
that's the schedule that I'm reading
on NFL.com.
Okay, so they must have changed it because the schedule that I have says Wednesday, March 1st, defensive line, the edge, then linebackers. Now we might be talking about different drills.
I'm just talking about the coverage that's going to be on TV.
Okay.
Like when they start running their 40s and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And doing field drills, that's Thursday.
This is from NFL.com. This is from the communications department. So that's why I'm like confused.
What they may be doing something different.
It says
or does it say drills?
No, this is so you might be right. This is just, you know what? This is the media schedule. So this is when they're scheduled to cover those particular positions.
Right. So for those of us who'll be at home,
what's Wednesday?
What we'll see on TV, which is the 40s and the field drills, the defensive line and linebackers start Thursday at 3:30.
Got you.
And then DBs and special teams is Friday. They move quarterback, wide receivers, tight ends to Saturday. So they put them in the biggest spot Saturday. Everybody gonna be home, nothing to do, nothing on TV. Throw in the combine and watch the quarterbacks throw. Hopefully all four of the top quarterbacks throw. That would be crazy. And then all offensive linemen and running backs are Sunday.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited for the 49ers. I'm excited to see Mozzie Smith and what he does. The defensive side of the ball, to me, I got my big board up right now. Every position group on the defensive side is much deeper than on the offensive side. I feel like this is going to be a defensive heavy draft. The edge class is crazy. The defensive tackle class is crazy. The cornerback class is crazy. So I think this is going to be a defensive heavy draft. I do think we need to start finding replacements for Javon Kinlaw. If he can find a way to turn it around this season and stay healthy, great. But if not, I think we need to start finding what the next option is after him. And Mozzie Smith looks like a guy who can be an absolute monster on that interior. So that's one guy that I'm looking at.
I like it, bro. I like it. I love it a lot. Definitely one of the guys that I have on my draft board defensively, but I'm going to go with the trenches on the other side. And so there are a slew of offensive linemen. I know we need a center. I believe we need tackles. We need all of that. But there's one guy that I know that I feel like can come in, get acclimated. You want to talk about Spencer Burford starting day one? I feel like the work ethic of this kid out of North Dakota State, his work ethic will have him starting.
You've been excited about him for a long time.
Yo, like Cody Mauch out of North Dakota State. I'm just telling you, like, he's versatile, so he can play from center to any one of the tackles, and they had him at guard. So, and he played. Here's the thing: he won offensive, like, player of the week, like far as at the Senior Bowl. That's number one. But he played all five of the positions, and so that let me know to say, all right, this kid's definitely going in the first round. Now we got to figure out where he's gonna test at the combine. If he tests at the combine, and we could trade and get a first round pick, I'm spending it on Cody Mauch, 305 pounds, 6'5", something like that.
He's 6'5", 305.
I don't know if he's 6'5". I gotta get it. 6'4", 305. I believe.
What's Cody Mauch?
Got the sheet right here. This is
what you're right, bro. They got him at 6'6", 302.
Here it is.
Okay.
Jesus. Here it is. There it is. And you when the last time we had a mean guy? Like just mean, that play mean. I'm sorry, not mean in general, just played mean.
Mikey Potty.
You taking me back to Alex Boone and them
days.
days.
Yeah, I was.
They were on the same spot.
They was on the same line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
That
yo,
line was so crazy.
and we
Monster.
couldn't
Jonathan
win.
Goodwin, Alex Boone,
Yes.
Mike
Big Ant.
Yapati,
Big Ant.
Anthony Davis,
Yep.
Joe Staley. Oh
And we
my
lost,
God,
bro.
that line was so mean.
Listen,
Crazy.
you want to solve the right tackle problem. You don't want to spend money on it inside, in free agency because you want to spend your money on something else. I feel like that's the kid you definitely want to use your draft capital on to try to get. I can see the 49ers trying to move up to see if he's available. There's like 3 other tackles
Is
that
his
I
2 front teeth still missing?
they gonna be. He said that and when I talked to him, he said they're gonna be missing until he get paid.
I would keep him out. I'd have a mouthpiece that showed
listen,
the blacks.
if that was me, yeah, yo, these Jones gonna be missing till I retire.
Right.
Till I retire, because I ain't gonna put them in, and then
get him
I
knocked out again.
get an illegal hand to the face, and y'all knock it out again.
Right. Right.
like
This gonna be my look for my entire career, and then when I'm finished and I go on TV, then you're gonna see the 2 new pearly.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on the TV and I'm gonna eat corn on the cob.
See, what's gonna happen is what's gonna you stupid. What's gonna happen is because the NFL is sponsored by that Invisalign thing or whatever it's
they're gonna
called.
get him right.
As soon as he get drafted, he getting an endorsement.
he's definitely getting an Invisalign sponsorship, bro. He getting an Invisalign sponsorship, a Colgate sponsorship,
yes, sir.
A Crest sponsorship.
He can't get both of them, dog. He gonna get Tom's toothpaste sponsorship. That boy is gonna be rocking. I'm telling you. But guys, man, listen, the combine is this week. It's going to be really interesting. Make sure you guys tune in. Don't forget, we'll be putting out shows. Make sure you check out all of our individual videos, things like that be posted all over social media. It's going to be crazy. I can tell you that right now. We're going to get to the super chats as we speak. Is the super chat segment. So let me go ahead and get that pulled up. And then as we do the super chats, all right, I'll be ending the poll. So if you didn't get a chance to vote in the poll, make sure you go ahead and do that, and I'll have that pulled up.
We will start with the one and only great Terradome.
Terradome.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. I say let Brock Purdy heal all year. Break out that Trey 5.7 and get the red rifle if we run out of bullets.
I'm gonna do the foghorn at the very end of all the super chat contributions. Terradome says so this is my initial assessment. This is what I would do as well. Like, and me personally, if I'm Brock, I would opt to get the surgery that's going to like fix the situation.
Make me 100%.
Period.
Forever. Right.
And it's unfortunate, but listen, you got years left. And so, like, don't rush this. You're talking about an elbow opposed to an ankle. You need your elbow to throw. You don't need your ankle to throw. I mean, you do got to step into a ball. But like, if I'm Brock now, and here's the thing, I forgot who I was talking to. Like, we were talking about this injury. We were like, listen, we know that this Tommy John injury is a baseball injury, but that happens from wear and tear in pitchers and players just throwing the ball all the time. Doesn't necessarily have to be a pitcher. It's just you consistently throwing the ball. This is a football injury. I know Nick Mullins recouped, but we talk about Nick Mullins against Brock Purdy. I feel like Brock Purdy is light years ahead of Nick Mullins, and Nick didn't look great. So what are we saying here?
That's I mean, when I looked at it, I did want to see. I said, are there any success stories in baseball of players having Tommy John surgery, being out, the 12 months or longer, and coming back and regaining form? And there's a lot. Jacob deGrom, John Smoltz. There are players who have come back and won Cy Young awards and like regained form and became better. So I initially, before I did the research, I was like, I don't know if there's any names that have come back from the surgery and been good, but I was incorrect. And I saw, okay, wow, there's an extensive list of pitchers in baseball history that have had Tommy John surgery and come back and have been better than when they got injured previously. So it is possible that if he did have the complete Tommy John surgery, that Brock Purdy could come back, regain his form, and still be better.
But that's if he does that full year.
That's if he does. That's if he does the full one.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
Because if he doesn't and it gets re-injured, now you're talking about having to do the full one, and now you're out a longer amount of time. So, is he taking a gamble? Is he taking a risk? Yes, I would hope that it's a calculated risk. He's gotten multiple opinions from multiple doctors, but
Agreed.
I agree with you, Breezy. He's definitely taking a risk, not just getting the complete reconstruction with the Tommy John.
And so you could look at that in a different way too, because he already knows that this team believes in Trey Lance, and he feels like, damn, I'm gonna miss out on this opportunity. So Brock wants to come back and
Right.
compete. So he doesn't want to just give up the spot, which is the one thing I love. It's one of the things I love about Brock Purdy, right? He's a competitor. And so he already knows, dang, if I don't come back, Trey's gonna take this team, and I might never play again. I might go back to being a backup.
Right. That's his biggest fear, I think.
I didn't know Big Ben had this surgery. I just put this up here because I didn't know that Big Ben had the UCL injury. All right, let's keep it moving. Thanks, sir. Though.
Thank you. Let's go. Next up, we have the great Delvin Thomas. Thank you. We appreciate the super chat. Not Jimmy. I'm past done. He went live on national television and told our team goodbye after we beat Green Bay. I won't forget it. He's not a Niner. Beat.
Indeed, he did. He did do this, right? Like he in the farewell speech. And I remember this. And unfortunately, he came back. Which was good though, because
we needed him.
We did.
At the time.
We did.
We didn't know what we had in Brock, though. I think if you go back, they might have just said, let Brock rock, right? If you hindsight.
But when we ask about why didn't Brock, people be like, well, Brock, turned out to be, as good as he was. But then my question was, well, why couldn't he beat out Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo to be the starting quarterback? And so they were, and it could be because Kyle was trying to change up the offense a little bit. It could be a bunch of scenarios. It could be a bunch of things. And then when Brock came in there, he went back to what Brock was super comfortable with, what he was super comfortable calling, and Brock just dominated. I'm not taking anything away from what Brock Purdy did for this organization, because he got us to a game that Fair and I are still mad at. So that we being here sucked. Oh,
yeah.
God. Yo, Mose, how did we make it through that game, bro?
Which one?
The Philadelphia game.
Oh, the Philly one? Oh, yeah.
How did we get through, bro? Like
me, I can't speak for you because I saw you and you weren't laughing as much as I was. I got through it just by laughing, yo.
I couldn't.
I was laughing,
bro,
because it was like, bro,
I ain't crying either.
It was so unfathomable, and
the
it
worst
got to a
possible
point where
thing happened.
It the worst possible thing and it got to a point where it was just laughable. It was like, bro, like, congratulations, y'all are going to the Super Bowl, but like, this means nothing to me. Y'all did not beat us at full strength. Say what you want. Oh, well, y'all didn't block Hassan Reddick good enough, and he got in there to affect the quarterback, and that's how he got injured. Okay, whatever. Y'all still,
yeah.
I laughed through it. That's how I got through it. I just laughed. I was sitting up there just.
Now, I mean, and Breezy said Moses said which one, because we're also talking. We were all also at the Atlanta game, which was pretty bad as well. That was pretty bad too, but obviously not as bad as the Eagles one, right? Yeah.
Only
and Breezy, weren't you in Denver?
Breezy was in Denver.
How did you live through 11-10 and Jimmy walking out the back of the ends?
It's a different living though. But so like Philly living.
What's on the because of what's on the line, right?
Yeah, the stakes were higher. It was Jimmy's first start. We knew he was gonna probably revert back to the whatever. And but here's the thing: in Philly, it was like there's nobody else.
Right.
Brock was the body else. So if he was out, remember when he got hurt? And I was like, oh my gosh, Brock is out. But then he's thrown on the sideline. He's gonna come back in. He never came back.
So we were like, all right, maybe Kyle's just playing it safe. We going into the half.
Get a real shot
and
at something.
At that point, we was only down 14-7.
Correct.
So we're like, all right, we only down 7 on the road. Our defense is playing lights out. Then the Josh Johnson fumble happens. They go up 21-7, and it's like, it's starting to unravel. But we go into halftime. Cool. Go into halftime, get your treatment, figure out a game plan, come back out. Let's punch these boys in the mouth.
Good point. That's
what. But Brock never returned to the field, and we got the ball starting the second half. So we like, okay, new half. We get the ball. Let's drive down. Let's get 7. Let's turn this up.
Right.
And when 17 started running onto the field, I looked at you. You looked at me. We looked at Nick. Nick looked at us. We was like, this ain't good.
It's like the Biggie commercial, Biggie interlude, where they both had a red dot on their head and they look at each other.
You got a red dot on your head too.
Oh,
Yo, that's pretty much what it was, bro.
That is. That's why I hit him with a but yes.
That's how we got.
That's spot on, bro.
And
spot on, fair.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to bring that up, but I get where Delvin is coming. Though he quit on it. He moved on. And so it was fortunate that we had to.
And I mean, there's even more. And not to cut you off, sorry. But no, there's even other rumors that said that Jimmy was possibly ready to go for that Philly game.
Yes, and man, I don't even want to open up the can of words. That pissed me off. So you have no idea how
that's why how dismissive Shanahan was in the press conference.
In his final press conference.
Correct.
Got you.
Correct.
Okay.
So you would rather risk losing and running out Josh Johnson because of your pride than letting Jimmy lace him up?
No, the other way around. Kyle was trying to get him to play, and Jimmy said no.
Business decision, bro.
Oh.
Yeah. Don Yee that's why he's saying Kyle was like, F that. We moving on.
Got you. I thought they were saying Jimmy was ready to play, and Kyle was like, "Nah, I'm good."
Which to me is the second time Jimmy Garoppolo did that. The first time
when he came back from that
high ankle sprain, remember?
In 2020.
Then this is the third because in New England they called him out as well for it.
Oh, okay. I mean, as a Niner. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's when I was like, because before I did an episode about, what if the 49ers bring Jimmy Garoppolo back because, he makes the quarterback run better. Then that information came out and I was like, hey, man, F this. Like, are you serious?
Yeah, man.
That should have never leaked out.
Never. That I'm done with him off that, to be honest.
So I'm with Delvin, yo. You're Delvin is stuck. The fact that he moved on in the interview, I felt like he moved on in the biggest game of his career. That's when he said F the team.
Yep.
And everybody was like, well, he made a business decision. What business decision? He could have possibly got paid way more money had he won that game.
If you come in this game with Brock being hurt, after him coming in on the probably the best rookie stretch, 6-game stretch that we've ever seen, you come back in after he takes over for you and is that hot and beat that Philly team on the road to get the 49ers back to the Super Bowl. That means the only time that the 49ers have been in the Super Bowl in the Kyle Shanahan era, you've been the quarterback for.
Bro.
Right.
You want to talk about marketing?
Bro.
That's marketing.
And fresh off an injury to win that game in Philly.
Yo. And it would have been 49er fans trying to bring him back.
Right. There definitely would have been.
How you could spin that? Oh, y'all can't question Jimmy Garoppolo's heart now. Y'all can't question his toughness now.
Jimmy the Lion heart.
Y'all can't question if he plays injured now. Jimmy wasn't 100%, but he still laced up his cleats and got us a win and got us to the Super Bowl. 49ers fans would be insufferable.
They would have swapped his head off for William Wallace himself and made him a Braveheart. I'm just saying. But that's not how it went down. Anyway. This is why we saved the super chats to the end of the show, because even when we're trying to go, we can't go nowhere.
Right. Yeah. Oh, man. Want me to run through?
Yeah, keep them going.
All right. Next up, we have the great Miss Debbie.
Yes.
Thank you for your super chat. Y'all pay Mose his money. Period. With a T at the end, too.
Period.
And hold on. There's an addition to this. You ready? Miss Jackie Knox. Miss Debbie, I love the period.
Oh man. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say pause, but we know what period means. This is the way Jackie talks, and she says period after every comment. And
Yes.
so I like how Miss Debbie is picking up on the lingual. This is what I love about this this family. I tell you,
Awesome.
Christy Marie's in the building.
Yes. Thank you, Christy, for the super chat. Kind of crazy how this tweet came out right before Lynch is scheduled to talk tomorrow. You guys think we hear a big announcement tomorrow from Lynch? Ooh, that's spicy.
It's possible.
Is it too early to make those announcements though? I think the biggest announcement for me,
depending on what it is.
Hold on.
Like it can't be anything as far as any
draft related. That's what I mean.
Agents or anything like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah. Because that's Tampa.
If it is a big announcement, it has to be something internal to the 49ers.
Right. So I'm thinking it's gonna be some type of coaching. Maybe the coaching staff is fulfilled. I don't know.
Just going off of previous moves though.
Mm-hmm.
The Niners like to have their picks cuffed before this combine.
What you mean? Like who they going to select?
The Trey Lance news. The trade that we made to go and get Trey Lance was before the combine.
We knew the 49ers were going to draft a quarterback. We did.
However, we didn't know that they were going to move up to do that.
I did because I knew that they wanted Trey Lance. And then in order to get him, they were going to have to move up because there was one team like the Atlanta Falcons that possibly would have drafted Trey Lance right in front of us, right? So we move up, they take Kyle Pitts.
Right.
I think that's what made the trade happen. And they traded with the team that they felt like they could finagle. They looked for finagling teams, Dolphins, Bears. So listen, I don't know about this comment. I don't know what we're going to hear other than the fact that maybe they make Trey Lance the starting quarterback. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the big announcement. And then everything from here now on. Or maybe there's a big announcement about Brock Purdy's surgery, which then lets people know that the 49ers.
Because that's the beginning of March, like they promised.
That's the beginning of March. Well, tomorrow.
I'm sorry. That would start March, though.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So it could be that. I don't think that they would do anything to, I don't know.
I think this is a low key press conference there, Breezy.
Nothing's low key with the 49ers. Everything is strategically done. So she's right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Things happen for a reason. Things are set up to happen. So it might be a setup to a big trade on draft day. How about that? Can I leave it at that? I'm
in. So
for a player, remember when we traded for Trent Williams on draft day?
Right.
Okay.
Hey,
so
man.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Got it. Next up we have the great Jackie Knox again. Thank you, Jacqueline. Breezy, Fair, and Mose, y'all are dope and y'all know football-ish. And that's a fact.
Jack.
Like how you did that.
I mean, even Mo's name is Mo's Nose.
Yeah. Did that? Oh yeah, I see the wordplay. I'm all about it. I'm all about it. I just got a report, and thank you, Jacqueline, for the contribution that the 49ers, according to NBC Sports Bay Area, what does this say? Let me make sure I'm reading this right. Yes. USC quarterback Caleb Williams reveals interest in 49ers as a landing spot.
Yeah. He mentioned that before.
Okay.
How?
I don't know. Isn't he going to be a top pick?
He's probably going to be the first quarterback off the board when he comes out.
You think he's going to be the first quarterback to go over Bryce and over
No. Caleb Williams not coming out this year.
Oh, next year. Yeah, but then we don't. Nah, we would have to suck.
Right.
That's our point. He just mentioned that he would love to play for us, but he
knows
knows
the second
that he's
time
not
they
coming to the
mentioned
49ers.
It's the second time, unless the supporters are old.
All right. Yeah, maybe.
No, it's not. It's February 24th. So
yeah, no, it's recent. He just said that, but he knows he's going to be probably the number one overall draft pick, And like you said, unless
There's no
we go through a season where everybody get injured again, we're not gonna have a number 1 overall pick.
no way that's happening, yo.
No.
That's
And nor will we have the capital to trade up for number 1. So
no, we're not trading draft capital or first round picks again unless it's something super sure.
facts.
Next up we have our brother Nick, Big Nick. We appreciate you, bro. My brothers, great show as always. I gotta go early. You got me wondering what is going to happen tomorrow. In line, right? LOL, but we're all in. Let's go Niners. God bless y'all and my Niner family.
Shout out to Nick, man. It's good to see you.
Sure.
Welcome back. Hope you had a great trip with the wife.
Right. The vacation looked awesome.
It looked amazing. I can't even front.
Jealous a little bit. I miss.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just
a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, we have the great 49er George 365. Thank you for the contribution. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate you. Yeah. I trust Trey 1,000%. He isn't perfect, but I'm down regardless.
What a way to
end the way. Yeah,
that's full circle, right? And so,
it is.
Thank you, George, for the contribution. And what a way to end it, because that's what we're talking about. Like, so do the 49ers trust in Trey Lance?
Let's do this, Breezy. Let's go around and everybody give a percentage of how much they believe the 49ers trust Trey Lance. And
let's do it.
We can dip off.
First, before we do it, let me give the foghorn to our super chat contributors. Right, they get the foghorn. All right, let's go ahead and do what you suggested. All right. So, I mean, is it 1 through 100%?
Yes, 1 to 100%. What do you believe the trust in Trey Lance is from the 49ers organization, Kyle, and the rest of the squad, the brain trust?
I'm going.
Yeah, Breezy, you go first, please.
Yeah, it's 100%. They're all in on Trey. Okay, the only thing that set Trey Lance back was the injury to the ankle. I believe come May, when he gets out there in OTAs, right now Trey is throwing. So there's no updates on who he was throwing to or how long he threw the ball, but we know there's nothing wrong with his arm. But he's out there throwing the football, and he's getting back into some type of a football savvy mind. And I feel like that the 49ers are all in, from the organization, the top of the organization, to the coaches, down to the players. And what George Kittle said earlier about this is Brock's team to lose, I don't feel like he was lying about it. Brock was the starting quarterback at one point, and if Brock isn't able to go, now it's Trey. And I think that the 49er players support whoever is at the quarterback spot. And so I don't think there's any type of, stuff going on between the players in the locker room. There's nothing wrong with George Kittle said. I guarantee you, when they get Trey out there and Trey's at those OTAs, Trey's going to have OTAs, training camp, full training camp, where he's the number one guy. And I guarantee you that will carry into, I said this, Trey Lance will be comeback player 2023.
Dope. Mose, what do you think, man?
88.6.
Right.
That's like a temperature.
Right. That's a amazing number, but why? What's the why behind that?
I feel like it's just a little bit that they need to see. It needs to be a little bit more consistent with staying on the field. He had the thumb injury rookie year, the unfortunate ankle injury year 2. This is not to say that he is an injury-prone player. I feel like they believe in him. They believe in what his ability is. They believe in his potential. They know the type of player and person that he is. I'm sure in the meeting rooms, he's shown that, he has high acumen and he's able to dissect the playbook and call the plays, and he understands everything that Kyle is trying to, put out there for the team. I think the last part that will, for me, make it 100% is just seeing the consistency on the field during the regular season, not OTAs, not training camp, not practice, but consistency during the regular season. If he can add that, to his list, then I think it jumps from that 88.6 to full 100.
Oh, man. I agree. I think actually I'm a little bit lower. I'm probably in this high 70 range. And I think just Brock put a little bit of confusion in their head.
Of course.
Brock, his play in there at the end. It really gave them some something to think about, man. But it is indeed Trey's to lose, right? It's for him to go in, set the world on fire, and get that spot back. So I guess it's all something that we'll see. I did want to report some breaking news that I just noticed on Twitter. I don't know if y'all saw that. But breaking news, it was reported by Ty Austin. So I'm not sure who his sources are here. But
sources of the goddamn show. That's what his sources are.
Hey, allegedly, his sources are the show. But NGN Talk open to trading at what Mose knows. Where could Mose land when the new podcast year starts? Both Wayne Breezy and Fear to God declined to comment. Yeah, I'm not going to comment on this show either.
Wow.
I will just say that I do, and I appreciate the 49er nitty gritty fan base. Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride.
How can you trade a free agent? I've been trying to figure that shit out for the longest. Like, I would have to re-sign him. And then
I mean, folks have been trying to trade McGlinchey this year, and I'm like, he could.
There was
folks been trying to trade Jimmy Garoppolo.
Trading Mike McGlinchey. I'm trying to figure out how that's even possible.
Yeah. Agreed.
It doesn't make any sense. Listen, a free agent means that the team no longer owns the rights to that particular player. The contract is filled, it's voided, it's done, it's over, it's finito, it's finished, it's whatever you want to call it, but it ain't.
Where's my contract extension?
Hey,
I'm not a disgruntled player.
Okay,
I don't want to test free agency.
All right, so
where's my contract extension?
We need to, like, your agent need to talk with my agent, and then we'll get it figured out.
Hey, I'm gonna put a stamp on it right here.
This is not basketball, Peachy. It does not work in the NFL.
Just so y'all know, Breezy, Peachy, Mose, and myself, this is for life. This is for L. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. That famous line from that movie with a wolf. We ain't going nowhere.
We ain't going nowhere.
I'm gonna put my glasses on with that.
This can't be stopped now. You already know.
Nitty gritty for life.
Life. Unless Peachy works out a sign and trade. All right, so what a great show, man. What a great show. What a great way to end it. Did anybody forget to speak? I can't remember. We go off tangent so easily. Can't wait to turn this into a podcast and listen to it tomorrow. This is a great listen. We talked about everything under the sun. Listen, at the end of the day, you know, and that was a good poll that Fair did about what do we feel the team, you know, what's the percentage of the, you know, did the team have in Trey Lance? I think that's really dope. I'm at the 100% because they drafted him and Mose, you know, they gave up stuff for him and they need that draft pick to be healthy out there, so they're going to be all in on him. And I like where Mose was like, I'm at that 88.6 because Trey still got some things he got to get done. And then Fair comes in and says, well, I'm at the 75% because, you know, Brock is throwing a little wrinkle into this system. And so look, who knows? I just hope we're all right and it totals up to 100% at the end of the day. Trey Lance just has to go out there and play football. And I think once we accept the fact that Trey Lance is going to be out there playing football, healthy football, we're going to see right before our eyes why they gave up the draft capital to get the guy. Mainly, it was because of the ceiling and the potential of a kid on something that we have not seen in a very long time within the San Francisco organization. This does not mean it's over for Brock. But this just means that the 49ers have two quarterbacks on rookie contracts that they can find a way to manipulate for the next several years. So be happy either way. The guaranteed money is not big. It's not 27 million. It's not 15 million. It's not a big number. It's something that the 49ers can continue to build. So yes, maybe BA will be back. Sean with the last super chat comment, because Sean always likes to put the finale on the show.
Go ahead, Mose. You gotta take that one.
Hold on, I'm having some internet troubles. I think my 1-year-old is unplugging the router.
That's amazing.
But
because why does she know how to unplug the router?
I don't know how she knows how to do it, and we try to keep it away
Because
from her, but
she's a Mo's nose.
she
Yes.
baby Mo's knows says
Baby
Sean
Mo's
says
knows.
check out Mo's new show, Stuck at Mount Sinai. Listen, we gotta figure this out, man.
Yeah.
We gotta
Guys,
figure this out.
it's Combine Week. The poll question was, what is your favorite event at the NFL Scout and Combine? 56% of the votes said the 40-yard dash.
What's yours, Breezy?
I like the drills, honestly. Like I want to see what
what drills specifically?
Drills, not one, just all
Okay.
like all of them, because they're all different skill positions, and so the quarterback's going to run certain drills, linebackers. So I like the drills that each position group goes through. It kind of gives you the context of what that player is going to be able to do in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? I get why
You got
people
one fair.
I like the 40, but for a different reason.
Wow.
I like seeing when the people that are slow run it. Like, it's hilarious. I like seeing them try.
I love when they do the simulcast
side by side with like Tom Brady or somebody.
And then they put Rick Eisen in the joint.
Right.
Every year.
I like that, man. That's entertaining for me, man.
Yeah.
I like seeing that stuff.
For me, my favorite drill at the combine is. Now I told y'all this story. I wanted to be a wide receiver. Grandma fed me like a defensive lineman, so I played defensive line. My favorite drill is the gauntlet.
The gauntlet,
because you can see, you really get to see who's a smooth wide receiver who can run their routes, catch in stride, and keep moving. That's one of my favorite drills. The gauntlet. I'm plugged in and I'm tuned in, and my wide receiver rankings usually fluctuate based off of that drill.
I like that, bro. When I'm also like, I know a lot of people didn't vote for like the jumping part, but if you want to find out who's like a freakish athlete who can get up in the air, who could do the long jump, that's when you find your athletes. But if I had to pick a specific drill, it's what the defensive ends go through. I like to see how well they can bend and get around those cones and how well they can get around those bags. Like, look for that, because I do know we're going to address the edge position, and I do believe Drake Jackson will be starting this year. Cameron Brown, Canary Mel, Al, best Canary Mel AI, best AI from Mailbox. I don't even know what that is. Canary Mel. Anybody?
I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Bueller. Mo's just don't hit the rock with the staff twice. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Nitty Gritty Niners Talk show. We appreciate you guys. We should be back next Monday. I think I have rehearsal next Monday, but we should be back next Monday. Either way, there's gonna be really good stuff to talk about. Shout out to everybody who was out there. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. And if you love what you love what you see, become a member of the channel. Also, don't forget to follow Mo's Nose. The description is the channel is in the description of the show. Fair's channel will be in the description of the show as well. Make sure you guys go ahead and show them some love. All right, stay up, stay faithful, always keep it nitty gritty, and thanks for watching. 2 hours and 12 minutes. We got to go. Peace.